Coming up on ATV News.
Guess what?
A proposed House bill could change the way birth certificates are made. We'll show you who this could affect.
You know him for his wheels, but we'll show you how a friend is helping bicycle Brent get back on his feet.
You ever been in a cockpit before? We have, and we'll show you why this one is special.
It seems like years since it's been here. I'll tell you if you can expect more sunshine this week.
All that and more, this is ATV News. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Ariana Piper.
And I'm Nick Porth. Franklin County deputies are investigating a murder in Preston, Idaho. Wilden Lovin, 31, was found in his home on January 26th. His death is being called a homicide. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office is still investigating and say they'll release more information when they have a solid lead.
We just want to keep this as close vested as we can until we feel like we're on the right track and we do the right things.
Fryer says he does not believe there is any threat to the community at this time.
A woman is recovering after a sledding accident on Old Main Hill last night. Witnesses say they saw her lying next to a tree after sledding down this hill as part of a family home evening activity. Police say they are still investigating whether she hit the tree or not. Students say Old Main Hill is a popular spot for sledding, and last night was very icy.
We're kind of not going to sled anymore.
Police say the victim was transported to McKay-D Hospital in Ogden.
One man is recovering after a rollover crash on Sunday night.
It rolled twice, and then a half more time when it landed on the roof.
According to Carter, the driver fishtailed, overcorrected, and lost control of his car. When Carter pulled over to help his friend, his car got stuck in the snow as well. UHP says the driver was not seriously injured.
I talked to the driver in the ambulance before he left. He was in good spirits. He appeared to have minor injuries.
The Utah legislature will be looking at a bill that would prevent transgender Utahns from changing their gender identity on their birth certificates. Zachary Aieto spoke with a couple of people the bill would affect.
Thanks, Ariana. Grantsville Representative Merrill Nelson filed the bill, but before that, I spent a weekend with some transgender people talking about what transitioning means for themselves and for those around them.
Jamie is hanging out with her daughter, Lydia. Jamie says Lydia is not confused about who her moms are.
Lydia, how many mamas do you have?
Even though Jamie is transgender.
1, 2? Usually I'll say I'm a trans girl, or I'd say I'm genderqueer, non-binary.
According to the American Psychological Association, transgender refers to a person whose gender identity doesn't match the sex they were assigned at birth, choosing to express that identity differently. In Jamie's case, she takes hormones that make her look more feminine.
Obviously, most people don't understand that feeling, and so to be able to go in to a psychiatrist and explain your feelings, and then for them to say, oh, well, yeah, you have gender dysphoria, it's validating.
I want you to imagine that you wake up every morning and you look in the mirror and you're expecting to see you, right? However you are right now. But instead, you see the opposite. And that's every single morning. And that really wears you down.
Because she has a daughter, Jamie says people don't always take her transition well.
There's a student who messaged me and basically told me that I was disgusting and that I was screwing up my whole life and my family. Guess what?
And as Jamie keeps raising Lydia as a mother,
chicken butt.
She only asks for one thing.
I just want to be respected in the way I feel comfortable, and it doesn't harm anyone else.
Who wouldn't stick up for themselves if you're being treated so poorly, you know? Like, that doesn't come out of sensitivity, that just comes out of the fact that we want to be treated like everybody else.
Opponents say keeping transgender Utahns from changing their birth certificates is only one more example of that discrimination Jamie and Seth talk about. If you'd like to learn more about the LGBT community, you can go to Queer Student Alliance meetings here in the Taggart Student Center every Wednesday. Back to you, Ariana.
Thanks, Zach.
At the end of last year, Utah changed the limit for a DUI from .08 to .05. Josh Witzel shows how people are reacting to the change.
There may be fewer clinking glasses with Utah switching the DUI laws to .05. Customers like these cut back on how much they drink before driving.
The fact that I'm going to have to drive home after this definitely prevents me from having a few more drinks like I would prefer.
According to Zero Fatalities, 10,625 people in America were killed in alcohol-related crashes in 2015.
I have a system, like Uber or like DD or just not drive.
To avoid getting you DUI, do not drink and drive.
At the same time, like if you go out with a DD, you're going to be fine either way.
If you want to drink a beer or a shot of liquor before driving, you might want to reconsider that. If your blood alcohol content is above a .05, you will get a DUI.
It makes me a little bit more cautious, maybe wait a little bit longer before I hit the road.
Bartenders say that there are a lot of factors that affect how drunk somebody gets.
Tolerance is going to affect how much you feel intoxicated, but it doesn't change your blood alcohol percentage.
The Centers for Disease Control say that it is not safe to drink alcohol and drive.
You don't need to get in a wreck and hurt somebody because you decided to have some drinks and get behind the wheel of a car.
At the end of the day, laws will not change people's behavior.
People are going to go drink if they want to, regardless of if it's .05 or .08.
Josh Witzel, ATV News.
With Uber and Lyft not being readily available in Cache Valley, if you need a ride from the bar, Cache Cab is your best bet.
Christy Ocken is on the weather set to tell us what we have to look forward to in weather.
Thanks, Ariana. We have sunny skies and mild temps here in the valley, but for other parts of the country, that's a different story. The current temperature is 33 degrees.
There's no snakes on this plane, only cool gadgets. We'll show you what those are.
$20,000 overnight may sound like winning the lottery, but there's more than luck to this story.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. You tell me to stay away from drugs. To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox. Under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Thanks for sticking with us. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the national forecast. As you can see over here on the west side, pretty quiet. Here in the Midwest, it's pretty quiet as well. And if we move over here into the east, the southeast, there's a storm system moving up into the northern part of the states over there, and that is going to turn into snow and bring some frigid temperatures. We're going to go ahead and actually take a look at those temperatures right now. As we can see, in the Midwest, they're getting the bulk of those cold, frigid temperatures right now, and later on in the week, those frigid temperatures are going to move over into the northeastern states. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Midwest. They're going to go ahead and see some of the coldest temperatures that they've seen in the past 2 decades. Here in Minnesota, they're going to get down to -60 wind chill, and those temperatures, those sub-zero temperatures, are going to be below 0 in many parts of the states, many parts of the Midwest, and down into Indiana as well. We'll go ahead and look at a picture we got from the University of Wisconsin. They actually had no classes on Monday because they got about 10 inches of snow there over the weekend, and now they're actually seeing -20 degrees temperatures. We can go ahead and look at a picture we got from Minnesota. Here we can see a farmer in Thief River Falls, Minnesota, actually about 80 miles south of the Canadian border. He's gearing up his livestock for those cold temps. You can see they have earmuffs on, and they also have calf jackets on as well, and some heat lamps to keep them warm. We're going to go ahead and look at our 7-day forecast here in Logan. As you can see, Tuesday, it's actually 33 degrees here, not 30 right now. Those mid-30s are going to be throughout the week. We're going to get a little rain on Friday, and as the temperatures cool down over the night, we'll actually see that turn into snow. But overall, a sunny week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. The USU Aviation Department just bought a new plane with some new features. And Ayana Likens, you were able to go up there in the air. What was it like?
That's right, Nick. The plane has some really great features in it, and some of them are actually right here. Now, obviously, these are just computer screens, but inside the plane, there are 2 digital monitors similar to these that are also in commercial aircraft.
This is the view that USU aviation students get every single day. And one student says it's what he lives for.
Everyone, always looks up at big skyscrapers and mountain peaks, but I get to look down on those.
And the plane that he is taking off in, it's brand new.
Right now we're 6,500 feet in the air, going about 100 miles an hour. And I'm here with our pilot, AJ. And AJ, there's something really spectacular about this plane. Can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, so this plane has autopilot, which is what it's on now. So I can set an altitude, a heading, or a GPS track, and this aircraft will follow it all day long, kind of like airplane cruise control.
As Schreiber flies over these mountains, another feature on the plane comes into play.
I can actually go out and physically see the terrain ahead of me. So for example, we have some mountains in front of us now, and I can see that on my digital display, and this helps for flying in bad weather.
Before students graduate, they will fly around views like these for 1,000 hours, and instructors say that's what makes the program successful.
I pride myself actually in making the best pilots going out there. When I get the airline dad who says, I interviewed one of your alumni, saw how well they did, so that made me have to bring my kid here, that means that we're doing something right.
The USU Aviation Department says they're planning on buying 2 more aircraft similar to this one this summer.
Thanks, Ayana.
If you need help getting a job or pursuing a career, USU Career Services might have tools to help you out.
Attending career fairs are
something that's super important for students in order for them to get a job and progress in their careers.
Students can meet potential employers and see what job options are out there.
There were a lot of people that were open to talking, and I was able to find internship opportunities for the summer.
Cassie Parkinson says students who skip career fairs are missing out.
Students who don't come to career fairs definitely miss a huge networking opportunity.
I think that if you don't come, you're missing out because there's got to be something here for you somewhere.
If you missed the job fair, don't worry. There are plenty more throughout the semester, as well as other resources available to students.
In our office, there are career coaches that they could talk to help revamp their resume, put them in connection with other companies, and also they could go through Handshake and message them theirs.
Parkinson says students who attend career fairs stand out to employers.
As a student, they already see you as different than all the rest because they know that there are 30,000 other students that didn't show up today, but you were one that did.
It is not uncommon for employers to hire students they meet at the career fair.
I feel like I always get a few from here. I don't know, anywhere from like 2 to 5. So it's, yeah, some years better than others, but yeah, I come every year.
Be sure to come to the next career fair.
There's so much more open than you realize. There's places I didn't even know existed. So I think they're missing out on finding awesome opportunities to expand their horizons.
For more information on upcoming career fairs, visit our Facebook page.
He's brightened people's days for more than 20 years, but now he's in need. Zachary Aedo shows how thousands are helping a local icon.
With a honk and a wave, people smile as Brent Carpenter passes by.
He's this awesome, kind person that's just full of light.
Look at that cute little guy.
Hey, me.
That's you.
As a child, his brain kept growing, but his skull didn't,
That's right.
causing brain injury that limits his speech, but not his ability to smile.
Brent rides every day, all year, all seasons. And maybe it's the extra weight he carries around that makes him one of the fittest guys in town, even though in April, he'll turn 70.
But last week, Brent's rent doubled, and he slipped on ice.
Keep getting hurt lately, huh?
Yeah.
So when he walked into this office,
I said, well, hey, hold on a sec. Let me take your picture, and let me see if I can talk to some friends, and maybe we can help you out. Okay, and then we took a picture, and he left.
with that picture, Barnett set up a GoFundMe that went viral, raising over $22,000 in the first day. And the donations keep coming in.
For Brent, thanks for always putting a smile on my face.
It's a community that cares for him.
I don't think Brent fully comprehends the positive impact he's had on thousands of people's lives.
He was put in Logan for a reason, and it's the people and it's him and what he's given to them.
So, if you see him riding his bike,
You want everybody to wave back at you?
Mm-hmm.
You just want them to smile, huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Zachary Aedo, ATV News.
Barnett says they've raised almost $45,000 and that 2 local restaurants will be giving Brent free meals for several months. Barnett says he's also trying to get Brent's story on The Ellen Show.
Cassandra Solarte joins us with sports.
Any wins for the USU teams this weekend?
Yeah, there are actually a few. Coming up, the hockey team is making a comeback, but can they carry this momentum into the final half of their season?
Campus parking may be getting a little tighter this fall. We'll show you why.
What do arts, crafts, and microbes have in common? We'll show you the event that lets you take learning into your own hands.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family. The first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Welcome back. I'm Cassandra Solarte with your weekly update on Cache Valley Sports. Utah State women's basketball was home over the weekend to play an important conference matchup. The Aggies look to celebrate Australia Day with a victory against New Mexico. Here's the tip-off, and New Mexico started fast, building up a 7-point lead in the first quarter, doing so with outstanding 3-point shooting. The LeBeaux went 11 for 21 during the game, while Olivia West scored one of only 3 from behind the arc for the Aggies. However, the Aggies dominated the paint, scoring 32 from Aussie's Steph Boardman and Shannon Duffy, which was enough to keep the Aggies close. All of 26 of Shannon's points came from inside the arc. Speaking of the reigning conference player of the week, here's Duffy from Down Under, scoring deep in the fourth quarter to tie the game. But the three-point shooting continued as Jayla Everett scored this 3 in the last minute for the Lobos. They went on to win 68-64. The Aggies game will be tomorrow night at San Jose State. Hockey played a close game against the University of Colorado Buffaloes and didn't find the goal until the second quarter. Aggies are down by 2 in the second period until Josh Kirkfleet breaks away and scores the first goal for USU. Less than 30 seconds later, he scores a second goal, tying the game 2-2. Only a minute will pass until Aggies score a third goal. This time, it's number 17, Gavin Lubin. Utah State wins 3-2, and the players say they have made strides in the past week.
We've had a lot of ups and downs. We're a young team, and we're learning every step of the way, and we've made some big strides, and we've won some games against really good teams in this league that I think we've made a statement.
Coach Westlake is with us in the studio today. So those wins this weekend, they could set you up to end the season really strong. What was the atmosphere like among the team in the locker room?
The atmosphere is great. You know, we came off a couple good wins. Beating Metro State, a team that's ranked higher than us, was huge for us in the rankings and making that push to regionals. So it was definitely a good atmosphere, and the boys are really excited to finish out the season strong.
So you have the Wasatch Cup this weekend and the Mountain West Cup the following weekend. Do you think that you can carry on this winning streak through those?
Absolutely. As long as the boys, you know, we stick to our systems, we play the hockey that we know that we can play, and I think it should be no issue that we can win out the rest of the season.
The roster this season is shorter than it has been in the past. Do you think that that's affected how your season has played out?
Yeah, absolutely. Having a short roster can be very dangerous, because when you're going into a game and you only have 3 lines, that can be tough on the body. Like, a lot of our players are playing 20 minutes, 30 minutes a game, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot. It's a lot of time, and we've dealt with injuries, and we've been short benched the entire season. But you know, the boys have really, you know, picked up their games. We have rookies that have stepped up and have taken on leadership roles, and it's great to see actually the boys come together and fight adversity. So
yeah, and you were actually on the team last season, correct? Mm-hmm. So how was that transition, going from a teammate to a coach?
It's been interesting. There's definitely been a learning curve. I think what's been great is our leadership. Our leadership has really kind of bought into the whole system and everything, and it's been a lot easier transition than I thought it would be at first, but it's been great. It's been different. Like, I want to be out there with those guys, but I love it. Like, it's been a great transition.
So, I mean, these players were your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a hard time seeing you as an authority figure at first?
Maybe a little at first, but I've been fortunate enough to hold leadership roles throughout my career playing. So I think when I stepped into the coaching position, I think a lot of them already saw me as a leader. So when I did, you know, tell them, like if I had to tell them what to do and stuff, they know that it's for the better of the team, and they know that I'm not going to try to lead them astray. And I also know the culture of the team as well, which I think helps out quite a bit.
Now you're all caught up on Cache Valley Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Back to you guys at the desk.
Experience learning outside of a textbook. Our Cameron Kelly shows us the event that puts science into your hands.
Members of the Cache community take their seats for the Science Unwrapped lecture on microbials.
A tree of life.
Microscopic biologist Bonnie Waring says it's her goal to inspire others to get involved in science.
I'm just an ordinary person. Most scientists are regular, everyday people, and if people are interested, it is totally something that they could be a part of and make their career.
Just outside the auditorium, volunteer students are ready with activities. Students say they want to show how cool science can be because kids don't always value what they learn sitting at a desk. With booths and crafts like these, you can experience science hands-on.
I think it's important to make it fun because there's a lot of concepts that can be intimidating and a lot of barriers to be crossed, so I think sometimes kids get disinterested.
Parents say Science Unwrapped is fun for them and their kids.
I come for a couple of reasons. One, because I like to learn, but also because I want my kids to experience learning some new fun things that they might not otherwise be exposed to.
One high school freshman says she keeps Science Unwrapped in mind when choosing a field to study.
Earlier ones, there was one that explained exactly how exponents work. So yes, these talks do sort of affect what I'm going to do with my life.
Cameron Kelly, ATV News.
The next Science Unwrapped will be held on Friday, February 22nd in the Eccles Science Learning Center on campus.
Finding a place to park on campus can be tricky, even with a parking pass. Our Caitlin Rindless-Baker tells you some of the changes coming to campus parking this year.
According to USU students, parking on campus can be anything from a hassle to really convenient.
I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it because where I live, there's like not a lot of people that live over there.
Parking on campus, I feel that they oversell spots on campus, so it's really difficult to find parking when you need it.
I don't know, I feel like I'm always just like searching for parking or just like hoping a spot will come up. And
USU officials say they try to make parking manageable for students.
We try not to oversell them to the point where nobody can find a parking stall.
Just because you buy one of these to hang up here doesn't mean you're guaranteed a place to park. And it is only going to get harder to find a parking place starting next fall. A new parking structure for faculty and staff is going up. During construction, commuter student parking availability is going down.
We'll lose probably close to 235 parking stalls for commuter students for the next 18 months.
Nye says that more of the commuter students will have to buy a yellow pass and use the shuttles.
We're all about trying to balance the needs of students, faculty, staff, visitors.
Caitlin Rindless-Baker, ATV News.
NYE says there are no current plans for new parking structures for students.
You might not think of Bear Lake as a destination to visit during the winter months, but Arity Angle shows us an annual event that people brave the cold for.
Ice skating outside, and karaoke, as well as shopping inside, brought in people and vendors from all over for the 10th annual Bear Lake Monster Winter Fest.
It's a winter wonderland up here at Bear Lake. There's so much to do.
All of the money raised at this event from auction items and other activities will go to Common Ground Outdoor Adventures.
They work with disabled adults and they do outdoor adventures with them. Last year was a record fundraising and it was $6,000. So it's the most that we've done in the last 10 years. And so we're hoping to beat that again this year.
This is the first year that they've added an indoor expo at the Winterfest to draw in bigger crowds. And at this rate, they might need a bigger event center next year.
We have filled the basement of the Sunrise Resort and Event Center with vendors, and we've filled the upstairs area. We overflowed. There's so many. These are vendors that some of them have been at Raspberry Days and some of them are first-time vendors this year.
Organizers started this event so that people will want to stay at Bear Lake longer.
We're hoping more people in the future will come up and spend the night. Make a weekend of it. It's January. Come up and have some fun.
And there's still plenty to do here in the winter months.
Even though we live here full time, there are still businesses that are open, and we want to just encourage people to feel welcome all year long, regardless of, the temperature.
Arity Ingle, ATV News.
Organizers say this year was the best crowd turnout the Winterfest has ever had. Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News. You can find our show and other content on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with a few shots of Science Unwrapped.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.